Welcome to NFL News Update, where touchdowns meet headlines. Stay in the game with the freshest NFL updates. This is your quick dive into football fervor.
Chicago Bears. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. Quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko. Receivers coach Tyke Talbert. Running backs coach Omar Young. Assistant tight ends coach Tim Zetz. The Bears fired Getsy and 4 other assistant coaches on January 10 after 2 seasons. Getsy joined Chicago's staff when Matt Eberflus was hired as head coach during the 2022 offseason. Cleveland Browns. Running backs coach Stump Mitchell. The Browns fired Mitchell on January 17, while tight ends coach T.C. McCartney will not be retained. Jacksonville Jaguars. Defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell. Running backs coach Bernie Parmalee. The Jaguars fired Caldwell and several members of his staff on January 8. Caldwell served as the team's defensive coordinator for 2 seasons. Las Vegas Raiders. Head coach Josh McDaniels. General manager Dave Ziegler. The Raiders fired McDaniels and Ziegler on Halloween night after a 3-5 start to the season. Las Vegas hired McDaniels and Ziegler away from New England ahead of the 2022 season, but neither was able to complete his second season in the desert. The two oversaw a franchise that produced a 9-16 record through 25 games. Los Angeles Chargers. Head coach Brandon Staley. General manager Tom Telesco. The Chargers fired Staley and Telesco on December 15, following a 63-21 loss to the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. Staley finished his tenure in LA with a 24-24 record, 2 winning seasons and 1 playoff berth, which ended in a historic loss to the Jaguars. Telesco was hired in 2013. New Orleans Saints. Offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael. Senior offensive assistant Bob Bicknell. Wide receivers coach Cody Burns. The Saints fired Carmichael on January 16 after 15 seasons as offensive coordinator. Carmichael joined New Orleans as quarterbacks coach when Sean Payton was first hired and then became OC in 2009. New York Giants. Special teams coordinator Thomas Magotti. Offensive line coach Bobby Johnson. The Giants fired Magotti and Johnson on January 8. Philadelphia Eagles. Defensive coordinator Sean Desai. The Eagles fired Desai on January 21. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported. Desai saw his role on the Eagles diminished in December when assistant coach Matt Patricia took over defensive play calling duties. Pittsburgh Steelers. Offensive coordinator Matt Canada. The Steelers fired Canada on November 21 after just over 2.5 seasons as the team's offensive coordinator. Canada joined the Steelers as quarterbacks coach in 2020 and was elevated to OC in 2021, replacing Randy Fichtner. Tennessee Titans. Head coach Mike Vrabel. The Titans fired Vrabel on January 9 after 6 seasons. Vrabel went 54-45 in Tennessee, with 3 trips to the playoffs and 1 AFC Championship game appearance. Washington Commanders. Head coach Ron Rivera. Defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio. Defensive backs coach Brent Wieselmeyer. The Commanders fired Rivera on January 8 after 4 seasons with the team. Rivera won 1 NFC East title, albeit with a 7-9 record, during his tenure. The Commanders fired Del Rio and Wieselmeyer on November 24 following Washington's blowout loss to the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Del Rio joined Washington's staff with Rivera in 2020. Back to top. Rizai Chicago Bears. Defensive coordinator Alan Williams. Williams resigned on September 20, citing a need to take a step back to take care of my health and my family. Williams joined the Bears as DC in 2022 and has coached in the NFL since the 2001 season, and previously was the Indianapolis Colts defensive backs coach from 2018 to 2021 before joining the Bears. Back to top parting ways. Green Bay Packers. Defensive coordinator Joe Barry. Barry will not return as the Packers defensive coordinator following 3 seasons in the role. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reported on January 24, per sources. The team announced the decision shortly after. Miami Dolphins. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Offensive assistant coach Ricardo Allen. Offensive assistant coach Mike Judge. Assistant special teams coach Brendan Farrell. The Dolphins announced on January 24 that they had parted ways with Fangio after one season. Miami has parted ways with offensive assistants Ricardo Allen and Mike Judge. NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reported on January 25. Assistant special teams coach Brendan Farrell won't return for the 2024 season, per Wolfe. New England Patriots. Head coach Bill Belichick. The Patriots and Belichick mutually agreed to part ways on January 11, per NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Belichick was the head coach in New England for 24 seasons, where he won 6 Super Bowl championships and appeared in 3 others. New York Giants. Defensive coordinator Don "Wink" Martindale. The Giants announced on January 10 that they had officially parted ways with Martindale. The announcement came 2 days following reports that Martindale had resigned from the position as Giants defensive coordinator after 2 seasons.